hail the Clicks crew! Alright guys, today we are taking a look at a ton of Fantastic Four previews from the upcoming Fantastic Four Heroclix set due out July 22nd. That's right, you heard me right, a Fantastic Four Heroclix set is coming out. So make sure to check out your local comic book store so that you can, go ahead and get those pre-orders in. If you're not able to pre-order there, this is a good time to let you know that Mr. Clicksflix is sponsored by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafé.com or in their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is also sponsored by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Visit trollandtoad.com and use the promo code MrClicksflix for 5% off your Heroclix order today. And if you still can't get something, make sure to visit the Heroclix.com website. Wizkids now has their own online store where you can buy direct from them. But again, if you could, go ahead and, especially right now, give your local comic book store some, or gaming store, a little bit of business, that would be really good. Or again, one of the channel sponsors to help me out and help them out. And then, if you're still not able to get something, all pre-orders are filled or something like that, please make sure to visit wizkids.com and you can do your pre-order there. So, yeah, we have previews today, bunch of cool ones, as I make sure that my microphone's okay. So these ones come from Eternal Games and also the Happy Little Heroclix channel. So if you didn't see these already, I know I'm a little late to the party on them. I promise I'm going to do better about this. It's just summertime and it's been crazy. But, if you're in the Mr. Clicksflix Facebook group, I have the original links there so that you can go and see them if you can't quite see them in this preview. But we're going to talk about them, read them over so that you can see them if you haven't seen them yet. So, and make sure to check back for Fantastic Four Heroclix news. I'm excited about this set. Fantastic Four is, without a doubt, my favorite Marvel Heroclix team. And I love all the characters and the Future Foundation and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for this set. I'm gonna go ham on this set. So you're gonna see a lot of unboxings. You're gonna see these previews. Anybody else that gets previews and stuff like that. So make sure to check back, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. So enough of me blabbing. Let's go ahead and dive right in. First one we're going to go ahead and take a look at here is number 39, Franklin Richards. He has the Fantastic Four in Cosmic keywords. He has 2 traits and a special on his attack. His first trait is the Return of the Fantastic Four. Friendly characters with the Fantastic Four keyword within 4 squares have Power Cosmic team ability. I mean, that's almost worth the price of admission right there. Handing out Power Cosmic, even though there's the within 4 caveat. Still good. His other trait is Maybe I'm Finally Ordinary. Franklin Richards can't be equipped and can only be healed by regeneration or the Fantastic Four team ability. The first time Franklin Richards would be KO'd by his own unavoidable damage. Instead, it turned him to click number 11. And then we find out about the unavoidable damage here in the special on his attack, which is every time I use my powers, I get closer to using them, losing them. Free. Choose 3 standard powers. Franklin Richards can use the chosen powers until your next turn. At the end of your turn, if Franklin Richards activated this power or made an attack, roll a d6, deal him unavoidable damage equal to half the results. So there's a little bit of stuff to unpack there. So first things first, choose 3 standard powers. They can be all attack powers, they can be all defensive powers, they can be all damage powers, they can be a mixture of whatever you want. But you get to pick 3. And then you have those until your next turn. And then at the end of the turn, if you activated any of those powers, you have to roll and you deal him equal to half the result in damage. So that's pretty cool there. So you're going to end up dealing him a maximum of 3 damage possibly. And then, we're always rounding up in Heroclix, so even if you roll a 1, you're dealing 1 damage to him. So it's 3 to 1 damage. And he is, we're going to keep talking about this power, but to kind of put this in perspective, he has 11 clicks of life. So you're going to get to do this at least 4 times probably. So 3 times. if you got unlucky and got all fives and sixes, which you shouldn't statistically. But the cool thing is that it says if you activated them. So, you know, like, that does take away a lot of things, but there's certain passive powers that you can use, like Empower, Enhancement. You can use, you know, Shape Change, Super Senses, and you know, all the defensive, you know, reducers and evaders. You know, it's really on, you know, a lot of the damage powers if you're trying to basically do any kind of attacking with him. But he can keep himself very safe, and he can do a bunch of things to help his teammates around him still with just the Empower and the Enhancement. And then you can also, like I said, choose defensive powers. And since it's, you know, they're typically only activating during your opponent's turn when they're attacking you, you can't at the end of your turn roll because it's not the end of your turn, and then it's the beginning of your turn, so then you choose different powers. So that's just a way to avoid taking that. Now, if you do have like Perplex, you choose Perplex, Outwit, Prob, you activate those, and it's not your turn. Now, you could pick Prob and use it on your opponent, only on your opponent's turn, at which point you wouldn't have to roll for it. So just something to think about. And then he has the Fantastic Four team ability is printed on his card, and I like this a lot. I really hope WizKids starts doing this, where the team abilities are just printed on the cards, so that you don't have to go look them up somewhere or something like that. Although, if you're not sure about these, there is the unofficial team abilities card that is on the Mr. ClicksFlix Patreon for, I think, at the $1 a month and up. You can get the unofficial team abilities card, and it has all this stuff and an easy reference that you can get laminated and then just carry with you. But I hope they move to this to kind of make that a moot point. But Fantastic Four team ability is Fantastic Four. When this character is KO'd after resolution, when this character is KO'd after resolutions, each other friendly character using this team ability heals 1 click. Sorry, that didn't read quite right to me at first. So, once he gets KO'd, he heals everybody 1 click, or somebody else gets KO'd, they heal him 1 click. If you need it, it's good. Like if you're late game and you've got, you know, a bunch of little underlings that kind of get killed that are using the Fantastic Four team ability, and then, you know, you're able to heal up your main guy somehow, some way. That's not who they went after. You know, you can heal him 4 or 5 clicks. That could be a big deal in the game. So he's 65 points, has Fantastic Four team ability, 6 range, single target, blank dial, his entire dial except for the attack, special on his clicks 1 through 10, and then he has Perplex on click 11. And then he just has a 9 movement with the foot symbol, 11 attack with that special, 18 defense, 4 damage. So he is able to deal out quite a lot of damage. For 65 points, this guy's good. Like I said, you can do a bunch of passive things with him. So something I would consider, you know, if you're trying to not roll for him and you're just kind of trying to set up, maybe pick, like, for your 3 powers, Energy Shield Deflection, Enhancement, and Probability Control, that you're consciously knowing that you're only using on your opponent's turn, and then he's staying within 4 to hand out Pyrocosmic team ability too. I feel like that's worth 65 points, even if you don't attack with him, and then you just have him a late game secondary attacker, really, which is still good. And then, like his thing says, he can be healed by regeneration, so that is always an option for you. But just be mindful that, like, if you pick regeneration, you roll a 6, you heal, you know, your 3, and then you roll again, and you could possibly take another 3 and not have gotten anywhere. So, just something to consider. I like this figure a lot. This is the first Franklin Richards that kind of has his powers together. Which I like. So I am super excited to get this guy. And he's only a rare. He is unique though, so keep that in mind. So next up we have Gorgan. He is a number 46 in the set. He has the Inhumans and Soldier keywords. He has a trait which is called Seismic Stomp Quake, but Gorgan may use it as if he occupies a square within 3 squares and a line of fire. So this is pretty cool. So you can basically pick any square within 3 squares and line of fire and activate Quake as if you occupy that square. So that kind of gives him like a pseudo range attack. And given that he has a printed range value of 0, you're very likely to catch some people off guard that aren't paying attention to that. And then 2, well, we'll get into strategy later in another video. I'm like, my head's swimming because there's so many things I want to do with these guys, because I really like Inhumans, because I like Fantastic Four, and that's where they showed up in. So he's 45 points, has a 7 movement with charge, 11 attack, 18 defense, invulnerability, and 4 damage. For 45 points, this guy's good. He's a good little, I would call him like a tank or a meat shield kind of character is what I generally call him. That 19 on the end, as long as your opponent isn't dealing poison damage or something like that, that could be really difficult for a lot of figures to get around late game. So that's definitely cool there. Next up, we have Miss Marvel number 50 in the set. She has the Agents of Atlas, Avengers, Champions, Inhumans, and Celebrity keywords. That Celebrity keyword, I think after this set, if it's not meta, it's going to be really close to being full-blown meta. Celebrity's always been deceptively good, but I think it's going to be like real close to being super good. So she has a trait, a special on her movement, and that's what she's got here. She's got her trait, which is Quick Thinking Polymorph, Shape Change, free, choose one to last until your next turn, giant size and modify combat values +1, or perplex plasticity. All that's good. Okay, so you always have shape change, and then you get to choose, do you want to be a giant and +1 combat values, or have perplex and plasticity, like you kind of want to be more of a team player type deal. Those are both good. Those are good options. Then the special on our movement is waiting for the right time to be a hero. Sidestep, tiny sized, hypersonic speed, but only once per game. So this is something you'd kind of burn just to get her out into the field. You know, you'd use up your tiny size. You'd pick, you know, your giant size to give yourself +1, and then it gives you an extra range, and then you sidestep hypersonic speed, and then after that, you'd be using your perplex and plasticity to kind of hold people into place, or at least that's how I'd use her. She's 60 points, has the wildcard team ability, so she can copy other team abilities. She has a 3 range, which is pretty cool. Those short ranges always catch people, so don't underestimate them. You know, it's not as cool as having like a 7 or something like that, but don't underestimate them. She has a 10 movement with that special, 10 attack, 18 defense with invincibility, and 3 damage. So this isn't a bad figure. Definitely a decent celebrity. So if she got +1 stats, she'd have an 11 attack, 19 defense, 4 damage. So think about it in that context. She's definitely really good. Even if it's a once per game hypersonic speed, still great. Next, we have number 51 in the set. This is Silk. She has the Agents of Atlas, Fantastic Four, Shield, Spider-Man, Family, and Reporter keywords. This is the first figure we've seen that has improved movement, and she has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering terrain. She has 2 traits. First one is Force Shield Beast Hunters. When Silk is given a move action, after resolutions, remove an action token from her, and she can use stealth until your next turn. So when she's given a move action, after resolutions, you take the action off, and she can use stealth. So basically, kind of move for free. It's not a free because it counts towards your action total, but it helps with her action economy, I guess is what I'm getting at. And then she has her other trait, which is Silk Sense, Spider Sense, Super Senses, sorry. Super Senses, but succeeds on a 4 through 6 protected outwit. So that's really cool there. I always like enhanced Super Senses, so that's good there. She has 2 different point lines, 75 points and 30 points. So you know I'm always a fan of that type of thing. She has the Fantastic Four team ability and the Spider-Man team ability. And again, we see on the card it has both of the team abilities printed. So thumbs up, Wizkids. I really hope that this is something you just carry on in all the sets, because this is super helpful for new and veteran players alike. So at 75 points, she has a 6 range dual target, 10 movement with charge, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense with willpower, and 3 damage. But again, don't get too upset about that. She still has that traded super senses, so something to consider there. At 30 points, she has a 9 movement with sidestep, 10 attack with precision strike, 17 defense with toughness, and 3 damage. In my typical fashion, I like the 30-point line more. I like the willpower at the 75-point line, but for 45 less points. So basically, I could run, if I wanted to, 2 of these and still have 15 points to spare. 2 of these, be able to reduce poison damage, and make sure that my damage sticks if anybody has anything that's not invincible. So I like that a lot. Next is Sue Storm. This is a chase figure. She is number 62 in the set. She has improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain, and I really like this sculpt a lot. I don't know why. It feels like it should be kind of basic, but I like the Future Foundation uniforms, and it's probably just that I'm not used to seeing Fantastic Four. So she has the Battle World Other, Fantastic Four, Latveria, and Ruler keywords. She has 3 traits. Her first trait is Form the New Fantastic Four. At the beginning of the game, you may replace up to 4 friendly characters with the same number of characters from your sideline on their starting clicks. All replacement and replaced characters must have the Fantastic Four keyword and different names. The total points of the replacement characters can't exceed the total points of the replacement characters. Whew. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff, and this is a really cool ability. I think she's going to really help Fantastic Four. So really what she's doing is you can take 4 characters on your team that have the Fantastic Four as a keyword. Same number, 4 characters, Fantastic Four keyword, yeah, so nothing about the team ability. Fantastic Four keyword, and you can replace them with characters that total, so this is important, that total this the same amount, but that have the different name. So this is a really cool ability, because what it means is that if you have, let's say, 4 50-point characters, you can bring in 4 25-point or 3 25-point characters and make the other one like 125 points. So it's important that it says point total and not that each one has to be the same value. So that's definitely cool there. Definitely some things that could be done for shenanigans for that. But her other trait is Mercy at the left hand of Doom. Barrier is free, but only to generate 2 markers. Sue Storm may use her displayed attack and damage powers as if she occupied a square of her barrier markers. So that's cool there. So she can barrier for free for 2, and then she can use her attack and damage powers as if she occupied that square. So let's take, for example, her first click where she has telekinesis and outwit. And you barriered off a wall, you could still use your powers on the other side of the wall. So that's really cool there. I like that a lot. And then her last trait is Queen of Battle World. Leadership Perplex. When Sue Storm uses it, when Sue Storm uses Perplex to target another character with a Battle World keyword, you may instead modify a combat value except damage by +2 or -2. We've seen this on like the Battle World Baronesses and stuff like that. So that's definitely cool there. Something we've seen before. So let's see here. And we have another chase. This is Valkyrie Von Doom. She has the Battle World Other, Fantastic Four, Latveria, Runaway, and Scientist keywords. She has the 2 traits and a special on her damage. Her first trait is Hunting Anomalies from the Other Worlds. Free, roll a d6 and place Valkyrie Von Doom up to that many squares away. That's cool there. Free placement's always good. When an opposing character is placed within 4 squares in line of fire, after resolutions, deal them 1 penetrating damage. So that's cool there. That could potentially help with like Colossal Retaliations and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat. Her other trait is Finding Out the Truth About Father. When a friendly character KOs an opposing character of lower points value than them, give Valkyrie Von Doom an action token that does not deal penetrating damage. So that's kind of not so great. And then special on her damage is Head of the Institute for Gifted Use. Leadership Perplex. When Valkyrie Von Doom uses leadership and succeeds, choose a friendly character within 4 squares in line of fire. That character can use Outwit until your next turn. That's really good. And then she has the Minions of Doom team ability, which has come back because we're doing Fantastic Four set, and it's when this character KOs a standard opposing character after resolutions, heal 1 click on a friendly character using this team ability. So it's kind of the opposite of the Fantastic Four team ability, which is really cool there. Again, I like that it's on the card. She's 30 points, has a 6 range single target, 8 movement with sidestep, 10 attack, 18 defense with energy shield deflection, and 2 damage. Alright guys, so let me know what your favorite figure was from this batch of previews. I always enjoy reading that stuff. Make sure to check out Happy Little Heroclix channel and Eternal Games since they did have these previews. Make sure to check out the channel sponsors for pre-orders, Wizkids for the pre-orders, and also give first choice to your local comic book store. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember the zone critical miss if you don't have probability control.